How's it going, YouTube? Hey, doing some live training here, guys. Getting everything set up here, so let's see what's going on. Let's go in here. Here's the training center here. Bow. There we go. Let's see. Or maybe I should have it over here. Over here. All right, there it is. There. Here's how's it going? How's it going? Over here. All right, man, we're setting up here. What is all this? Oh shit! Oh, that's Bible. What's wrong, people? What the heck? Bible quotes. It's not what I'm saying. Here we go. All right.
Jumping, holding it tight when the price be pumping. Shots on fire, the candles thumping. Late night grind, but the coins keep lumping. Leverage stacking, profit packing. Got no breaks, but the graph keeps cracking. Signals flashing, wallets clashing. In this world where games are smashing. Crypto chat, chatting, I'm the king of the game. Got my brother on the other end, calling my name. Spot trade attacking, we don't play it the same. Ride away till the world knows my fame. Digits flipping in the midnight zone. Blockchain vibes on my mobile phone. Every loss is a lesson I own. Stack the wins till my empire's grown. The lows to the highs we hustle. Breaking through like a flexing muscle. Never fold in this crypto shuffle. In this crowd we thrive and tussle.
Sorry about that. Hey, how's it going, you guys? Hey, so check it out. I just took a trade out. We're going north. I'm gonna show you guys what's going on with the charts here. Why I'm taking a trade, kind of, and where I think the charts are at. Gonna be taking this little $50 here. Check it out. I just put $50 on the account. Right here, I got 39. I took a trade right here for $10. So we got a $10 trade in. And I'm gonna show you guys, I'm using a little more leverage. I'm using 11x leverage on the trade. But here's what I think. Here's what I think. Let me just go back here. All right, so check it out, folks. I'm gonna kick you a little knowledge here. We're gonna be is this like, let me turn this down a little bit so you guys can hear me. I made these songs for this live too. All right, so check it out. So in the quarters theory, right? Like quarters theory and Elliott wave theory and whatnot. So we got an Elliott wave forming this little recorrective wave here for this quarter. But I'm gonna show you guys kind of like how I chart shit, how how I think the quarters theory works. So look, this is the last resistance level. This is XRP. This is XRP. So check it out. I'm gonna grab a trend line over here. All right. So this was the last. This is the last resistance. You know what I mean? Before it spiked up. And so when you're doing the quarters theory, or you kind of like, you're gonna jump up and see, okay, where did it go from the last resistance before it shot up and spiked out? So it went from like what we're gonna say, let's say 234, 235. All right, and then it shoots up. So we're gonna grab this thing here, 235. It shoots up. Wow, it does this little, comes all the way up to right here. All right, to 266. Or sorry, 366. So how much do we? I mean, hey guys, grab a calculator if you want. I'll just do simple math here in my head. So we had $1, roughly like a $1.30 in upward movement. All right, and so you take the from the 230 to the 366. We'll just say 235, 366. So it went up about $1.30 or so, and it peaked out. And then in the course theory, you're going to see a roughly 75 to 70% retraction from the upward movement from that last, level of resistance to the new high, okay, which is this. Okay, so look, here we go. I'm going to fatten this up a little bit. I'm going to show you guys kind of what's going on here. So, all right, look. This is where it spiked up from one from here. And don't worry about that. And it comes up to here. All right. Call that the green. All right. So we got $1.30 on the green. So the retraction will be 75% of that $1.30. So what's that, guys? Like 84 cents or something like that? 90 cents? Maybe 94 cents, roughly? We'll say 90 cents, in or around. It's probably like in between 70 or 78, or 70, 78%, whatever. So that's going to bring it back. So what are we going to do? Real quick, we'll just say 90 off the way. $366. I thought it was gonna. Oh look, it got down to 269. So it's like roughly about 70, 75%. It could go down a little bit more. I think maybe I was thinking it was gonna drop down to like 267. Maybe 265, worst case scenario. But I didn't know from where they were gonna, where they were calculating the last resistance level. But I kind of entered around like Figured it was the 230. So it jumps up from 230, jumps up to 366, and then it does the old quarters theory is it's going to go at 70% back down. And so here's what it does. And it didn't just do it, it did right here. Here's the first one. We're going to call it yellow. All right. So the green, it jumps up. Yellow, it jumps down. All right. Quarters theory. I thought this was going to be like, whoa, that was it. And then it jumped up. Let's go back up and see what it did here. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you get this? All right.
Just talk to them for a few minutes, just like that. I just go in there.
You need to get it. Yeah, all right.
In no time. I'll not take that long.
There's only two people in here anyway. It's not a big deal. Hey, run outside real quick. This guy's got to use the computer. So I'll tell you guys like what's going on. So it's in an Elliott wave. It's in a corrective Elliott wave after it did like a big jump, but it's moving a lot faster than it did the last quarter. As like the last quarter, it's strung out for, and this is like kind of like a more I want to say re-corrective wave. It's for a lot like days. It's only happened like last month or two. So I see it. I see the price going up, probably up to the four, maybe $5 realm, possibly six here in the next, probably about August. A Colton Douglas, I think. Well, XRP is still low. XRP. Hey, check it out. So Bitcoin just dropped down to like what 107, and it's kind of doing a little. The last time Bitcoin was at 107, XRP was like at $1.70, you know, and $1.80, $1.90, and now it's like at the 270, and it's definitely, I believe it's like at the bottom. It's definitely at this is like the dip for this last movement. Definitely at a dip. I'm taking a $50 trade in there. You guys are seeing I'm taking a little $50 or no, a $50 trade amount. I'm doing it's a scaling strategy, guys. So I'll kind of go over this scaling strategy with you. Check this out. I think I got something right here. So I made this up, man. I tweaked it a little bit here, you guys. I don't know if you can see it, so check this out. Day trading account scaling strategy spreadsheet. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to start with $10. All right, and so these numbers are they're off, but you kind of get the idea. I'll make another one up. Hold on. I'll do the numbers differently in this one. So I made a bunch of them up, kind of like my little go-to when I'm coming up with strategies and spreadsheets and whatnot. I come up with a spreadsheet and paste it on. Oh, bear with me, guys. So there's that. Hey, bear with me. I'm in a wheelchair, you guys. It's like the struggles. We all realized myself in a car accident like 5 years ago. So if if you're wondering why the camera sucks, Hey, can you turn that light on, Pat? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna put this together. It's gonna start with a $10 trade. I already got the trade in at like I think it was like a 276 or whatnot. Just got the money on the account. Starting with $50, I'm gonna take a $10 trade, and I'm only going to use like an 11x leverage on it. I'm not going to go crazy on the leverage, but I'm going to write that to a 1x. I'm just going to 1x a trade. So take that $10 to $10, 100% profit on the trade. And then I'm going to take $5 and add it to the next trade amount. So I'll go with like a $15 trade on the next trade. And then I'm going to take the other five and apply that to my liquidity pool. So that each time I 1x a trade, I'm strengthening my liquidity pool for the next trade. And also in 30 trades, check it out. It gets pretty, the profits build up quick. So take one of these things out here. I'm gonna let this guy do what he's doing. And then, Bob, you got a pen right there? Quickly go do some math for you guys. And it's for the computer, so it kind of is what it is. I'm gonna do a little math here. As I'll just say, a 30 perfect trades, and this is how it equates. So, 30 perfect trades, and the risk to reward, I'm applying like a 15% loss. So if the trade goes upside down 15%, I get out of the trade. It's like a failed trade at that point. And then I'll have to go to the previous amount on the prior level. And starting off on $10 on my first trade, that's going to be level one. So I'll put some numbers together here for you guys. And I'm going to do it up to 20 trades. All right. And after 20 trades, we'll see what the amount is. So 20 perfect trades. All right. Starting with $10. So trade amount $10. Passed. Profit 100%. I want to do 100% on the profit. It's got to be a 1x. And I got to take a $10 trade and get 100% and get $10 on it. And then, $5 for the level pass, extra $5 for that. Liquidity pool, total amount. Right. All right. Right here, look, $10 trade. All right. Is it pass or fail? We're just gonna do pass right now. Total profit, that would be $10. You get 100% profit on the trade, making it $10. You take $5, all right, and that means you got the profit on the trade. So $5 goes into the next trade amount. So you take that $5, you roll it into the 10, make that next trade, because you passed this trade, and this is going to start the next trade at $15. All right, and then I'm going to take the other $5, from the 100% profit on the trade, and put that in my liquidity pool, because you need to strengthen your liquidity pool to just sustain market volatility and whatnot. So always take, it's going to be 100% on the trade, and spend 100% profit both ways. 50 for the liquidity pool, 50 for my next trade amount. Seeing how that's going to go. So in 20 trades, 20 perfect trades, we'll see how it looks. So how's it going? You have 100% trade. Yeah, 100%. So whatever your trade amount is, you got to make 100% on that trade amount. I'm not looking to like 5x a trade or 6x my trade, or say with 7x my trade. Just a 1x, bro. Simple 1x. And then you split it up. You take out for your liquidity pool, and you take the other half for the next trade amount. All right. You start. I think I'm gonna start. I would have liked to have started with $100, but I'm starting with 50 just to see 50 to 500 if this, what happens. So we'll see how the numbers work out in 20 trades. So let me show you again. All right, right here. So trade amount. Well, I mean 100% on that $10. So 5 for the liquidity pool, 5 for the next trade. Next trade amount is going to be $15. All right. The cryptocurrency I'm going to use to do this is going to be XRP, and it's the first trade. All right. And so the next trade amount, okay, is going to be a $15 trade. I'm only going to use an 11x leverage too. And then, pass or fail. How's that going to work? We're going to just do pass. I'm going to give you the simple. We're going to do 20 pass trades, 20 perfect trades. Okay. Is it possible? Yeah, sure it is, but again, this is just a scaling strategy. And if you don't pass the level, if your trade fails, being that it goes 50% negative or whatnot, you got to get out of the trade, call it a failed trade, and then go back to the prior level that you were at. So that's kind of like one of the implementations that you would do on failed trades. It has to be 100% profit on the trade in order for it to be considered a pass trade. That's another thing you have to implement in the strategy. So if you take profit on a 50% positive trade, that just goes into the liquidity pool. You have to start your trade over and begin it, begin that same level again. Okay, so here's how it works. Next trade amount we're doing is $15. Trade passes, okay. That's a $15 profit. So you take $750 for the next trade amount, $750 for your liquidity pool. Next trade amount is going to be $22.50. XRP second trade, 1, 2, and then we're just going to go on, And real quick, I'll just jam through these numbers as quickly as possible. I got this guy upstairs who is who's helping some people with their medication. What I don't want to talk about this. It's all right. Anyhow, let's do some math. And if you do 20 perfect trades, it's gonna really. So next one, trade is gonna be 22.50. Pass. Total profit. That's 100% profit. So you get 22.50. 11.25. Next trade amount will be 33.75. No. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Kim Jong, appreciate you, man. Right on. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's kind of boring, and we're gonna get back in there and get back on the trades here. But let me do some math here real quick. 33, 33, 16. Let's go 1 sec. I'll show you the numbers here. Almost on level 5. All right, check it out. So real quick here, just go over. So after the $15, after the second level, you go to the third. Your next trade amount is going to be 2250. All right, 2250 with 100% profit. All right, that's going to give you 2250 in profit. You split that down the middle, half for your liquidity pool, all right, and then half for your next trade amount. So they add that 1125 onto the 22 or whatever. You're going to get 33 and some change. So the next trade amount is going to be 33 and some change. You run the same 100, got to be 100% profit in order to be a pass trade. And you can use whatever leverage you want. I mean, if you're comfortable using a lot of leverage or 50 or what, just to get that profit as quickly as possible, do your thing. But this market's a little too wonky for that. Anyway, let's get back to the math here. So 33 becomes 50, roughly. And I'm doing rough numbers. I don't get right down to the nitty gritties because I don't have a calculator. I don't care. I'm just going to give quick rough, guesstimations here and approximations. So we're at level 5 and we just made 50, right? And so our next trading amount is going to be $75, 75.35. So let me just, let me do the next 5 trades. And I think at that time we'd probably go back up there and see what's going on in the charts. Check out my XRP trade. Dude should be done in there at that time. Killing a little time right now. Thanks for bearing with me. Appreciate you. And then we'll hit back there. So, hey, that music in there, I generated a bunch of lyrics into an AI, and then it came with a bunch of songs. So it was kind of cool. I'm not experienced enough to do leverage futures trading yet, so I only do. Oh, your spots cool. Hey, spots, leverage is your friend, bud. I could show you some crazy things with leverage and how to apply it properly when you're trading on leverage. Leverage is like a tool. I don't know how. I trade on a couple different accounts. I trade on Margex and I trade on BTCC. And with BTCC, I can use leverage to deleverage an account. I could it's really your friend. And when you use it properly, you can make high leverage trades. And you can have leverage sustain your liquidity level. It's a tool. But I'm not here to go over all that. This is just a simple scaling strategy, and that's why I'm showing I'm only using a 10x leverage or 11x leverage on the trade, and that's all I'm going to do, one in, one out. It's got to be 100x. I know the markets are they're at their bottom right now for this little. I believe they're right in or around this last chart movement's quarters theory movement. And when the quarters theory and the Elliott wave theory starts to really correlate and run together, probably get a pretty good idea of what's going on in the market. And I'll go up there and show you with the charting exactly, what. So the quarters theory is this. Quarters theory is that whatever the last resistance level was that the price wasn't able to break, and so for XRP it was 230. It dropped down to 160 and came up to 190, 180, blah blah, blah. And after it jumped up again, when it jumped up to $3 from 42 cents to $3, it dropped back down to $1.60, and that was a 70 percent recorrection there. So this last upward move, spike that the market saw, Bitcoin's dropping a little more than I thought it would, be honest with you. And it's interesting to see how the other crypto, like the altcoins, are sustaining their value a lot more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin was last time was at a 107. XRP was under $2. So now it's at 107 XRP and H bar. They're all about H bar is wanting to go below 20 cents. So, but I'll show you some charting on that and kind of entry levels and things to look for. when we go back up there. So let me just do the next 5 little levels here. So 75, 35. Pass trade, that's going to be 37, 15. I think Ethereum might break. So look, Ethereum, I don't know if you do you know what like so currently what determines the price of Bitcoin? Pretty much like supply and demand, what someone's willing to pay for it. There is no global VWAP for Bitcoin, and I don't know why, but there isn't. A VWAP is a global volume weighted average price formula, and that VWAP is the aggregated data that they use over an accumulated amount of markets and exchanges and trades and this and that and buys and sells and whatnot, market, movement and token whatever they're using right now. I know that a lot of the utility coins don't really have the railways that these utility coins are ran on don't have value for share yet. I don't know. It's a whole tokenized there. More will be revealed, and I got a great breakdown of exactly what's taking place at any rate in this current crypto market, especially for traders and whatnot. Traders are big money manipulates this market, and traders are either smart enough to know how market works and how what. And I've been trading for like a year. I've been trading really over 13 months, and it's been crazy, especially since I went from a bear market, like learning to trade in a bear market, and we're crushing it. The bear market is just, doing a very, very elementary wave, it's just trending sideways. And it just, and I was only taking upward, I was only taking the upward and could go up, and then I'd wait for it to drop back down, taking the trade on the bottom. So I was only doing like momentum trading. I was only doing, like longs. And I was crushing. I was like a 90%, almost 100% positive trader at that point. Like, what the fuck? I'm good. So easy. And then this bull market hits, and it just, everything, learning a whole nother dynamic to the trading money market, manipulated market, like this whole crypto sphere. It's an interesting thing when you look at like XRP, for instance, 20, the top 20 wallet holders of XRP, they own 50% of the current circulating supply. And 10 of those wallets hold 41%. You can't make this up. So, be that the case, like in this market, when supply and so global VWAP, Ethereum has been going up significantly in the number of markets it's been ran on. It was at like 1,854 like a month ago, and now it's on over 2,100 markets, and it ran on over 215 exchanges. All right, and that's been going up too. XRP currently is ran on 500 and I think 514 different markets and 167 different exchanges. Okay. The other coins are less than that, like H bars, like less, Stellar is less, XDC is less, than all of them. But Bitcoin doesn't have that. There is no global volume weighted average. It's just basically what someone's willing to pay for it. It's kind of interesting. At least that's what I've gotten AI to tell me, kind of looking into it. I heard that H bar has more utility than XRP. I wouldn't. I mean, no. Depends on what you call utility, bud. So look at H bar is partnered up with Swift, and hold on, 37 and 75 is going to be 110. So Swift has recently not only not only partnered up with, they're going to be taking like 84%, 86% of the Swift current in the Swift protocol by November, and the other 14% is going to be used. Is going to be given to Ripple and XRP. So they're going to be moving toward 2% of Swift, and 86% now is going to be ran on the hash graph. And Hedera is literally like XRP, but all pumped up and jacked up, buffed out or whatnot. You could transact 10,000 transactions, finalized per second, I believe, on the hash graph, like 1 to 3 seconds. You can finalize 10,000 payments, as opposed to Ripple's like 1,500 finalized closing payments, 1,500 transactions in 3 to 5 seconds. And so Hedera is definitely more fit for moving smaller amounts of money. Like, you don't want to use XRP because there's a burn rate. XRP it's a deflationary asset. And so every time you use XRP or transact on XRP, you're burning up 0.00001 XRP. And so with that deflationary like design, XRP is only going to go and decrease in amount. And so that's going to increase in value. I don't know how many transactions are going to be wanted. I just know that Ripple is doing so much more than any other cryptocurrency fintech company out there globally. And Hedera, Aptos Labs, Ripple Labs, they all formed and founded the MICA Crypto Alliance, the MiCA Crypto Alliance. And now the MICA, the new MiCA, is giving out licenses to crypto exchanges like Liechtenstein Exchange to be able to offer tokenized security, a Timond, TIAMON, like a tokenized diamond. They're calling it a Timond. And so the Liechtenstein had to get the regulatory framework and clarity kind of from MiCA. And who is MiCA? It's Ripple. That's Aptos. That's Hedera right there. And so what does Hedera bring to the table? I think Hedera's got some serious tokenomic security it's like a military grade security setup, and it's offering that for now. I believe since it's partnered up with Ripple's, and they're going to get that military grade security on their or whatnot. XCC is as well. They're all kind of like they're all part of the same XLM. So that being said, more will be revealed. Let me just go into the numbers here again. Let me just get up to number 10. All right, 110 right now. Trade 7, pass 110. Oh. It's going to be $55. $165. XRP. $165. 80, 70. That's gonna be 1 second here. Here, it's getting dark. Hold on. All right, here we go. 252. And here we are. You see what I'm saying, guys? Look at 41 minutes into it already. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to do this little spreadsheet right here to give you an idea. I mean, it's happening. Let me go up to the next 5 trades. I'm going to go up to the next 5 trades, you guys. I'm not even playing. Let's just do it real quick here. 567. Like 567. Past trade, that's going to be 567 profit. 0, 0. This is going to be rough. So that's going to be 284. And that's going to be, add that to that. That's going to be 851 XRP. Level 11. We're going to take 851, okay, for the next trade amount. All right, 851. And then past that trade, that's going to be a profit of 851. Okay. 420. 550. R2 5.5. R2 5.5. And then you add that on, that's going to be 1,276. XRP. Trade 12. So we got 1276, you guys. Look at 1276. 0.5, 0.5. Past trade for 1276. 0.5 for roughly 638 bucks. 638. 638. And then you add that under there, it's going to be 1900 and 1450 XRP and trade 13. So pretty cool. I'm gonna get up there and show you guys what's up here in a second. Hey, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Well, I had good talk. Oh, good luck. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.